Naruto and Sasuke do not solo the Marvel Universe. Let's just rip the band-aid off at the very beginning so no one can misinterpret the point and scope of this video. I like the Naruto franchise and I like Marvel Comics, but lately I feel like I've been talking solely about One Piece and DC Comics, so just to keep trying new things on the channel and to kill two birds with one stone, I thought it would be fun to break down how far Naruto and Sasuke could potentially get if they were dropped into the Marvel Universe. If you're new here, feel free to check out the other videos I have on the channel and subscribe for more content in the future. Let's go ahead and lay out the rules for this matchup. So the rules for this matchup are pretty straightforward, and I don't think there should be too much contention with how I organize the battle. Rule number one, we will separate the Marvel Universe into stages where we'll start with characters at the bottom tier of the verse and progressively throw stronger fighters at Naruto and Sasuke. There's no way I'm dissecting every character in the entire Marvel Universe. That would take hours upon hours. I doubt y'all want to hear me yap for that long. Having the battle formatted like this would make it easier to digest overall, that if Naruto and Sasuke could defeat a certain character, then they are more than likely can beat people relative or below said character. Also, it's important to note that these stages where these characters are placed are very broad and it's based solely on my perspective. There are several reasons why characters in lower stages can combat and even defeat higher stage characters, such as prep time or having certain items or equipment that augments their stats, so don't get too upset with the overall format. If you want me to talk about certain matchups, then let me know and I can make videos on the topics in the future. Rule number two, we're using just the standard forms and stats of each Marvel character. Pretty much every relevant character in the Marvel Universe has at one point one or more OP forms that greatly boosted their stats and gave them new powers. Just so we don't get too convoluted, we'll stick solely with the standard forms of each combatant from Marvel. Rule number three, we're using Naruto and Sasuke up to the battle with Ishiki Otsutsuki, and I decided that we're going to be using lower and higher end scaling for both Naruto and Sasuke. It shouldn't really be a surprise why we're using these variations of the characters, because coming out of that fight, both Naruto and Sasuke lost major tools from their arsenal, with Naruto no longer having access to Kurama to aid him in battle after using Baryon mode, and Sasuke losing access to his Rinnegan because of Momoshiki possessing Boruto's body. And for the scaling aspect, as someone who has seen the discourse around the Naruto versus scaling for years, I figured let's just see how far their bare minimum can get them and how far their higher end scaling can carry them from there. And finally, for rule number four, we're using versus equalization. Just so no one complains about Marvel characters not having chakra networks, there are many avenues of magic and mystic abilities in the Marvel Universe, so it really shouldn't be a big deal anyways. Like I said, pretty straightforward, so let's jump to Naruto and Sasuke's low and high end scaling. So for any who do not know, there is a lot of contention within the Naruto community when it comes to how strong the iconic duo really are. I've seen people say that they are only multi-continental, and I've seen people say that they are outerversal. Results may vary depending on who you may ask. So if you have a problem with the interpretations I'm presenting in this video, that's fine. There's plenty of other well-versed channels dedicated to Naruto that you can draw other perspectives from, and I highly encourage you to do so. I am solely using the lowest and highest interpretations of these characters that are, broadly speaking, reasonable to me for the sake of the video. These are not my true opinions on the topic. For the low end scaling, the bare minimum, the absolute lowest you could possibly scale Naruto and Sasuke would be small planetary. I know some people have a hard time saying these guys are in that weight class, but the fact is, Naruto defeated Toneri, a guy who literally split the moon in half with one of his attacks, so he should be on that level as well. Naruto not only tanked that moon attack twice in their battle, but he just flat out overpowers Toneri. And taking into account that this is Naruto from the Boruto era Naruto well over a decade since that Toneri fight, should be much stronger since he is battling a much stronger opponent in the form of Fumo's Momoshiki. And Sasuke is almost always portrayed as an equal to Naruto, or at the very least relative to him, which is consistent since he was the only character able to help Naruto against Fuse Momoshiki. But now for the fun part, the higher end scaling. We'll keep things brief just because of how contentious this topic is. Keep in mind again, this is not my personal opinion. The highest you could reasonably go without things getting too wonky with Naruto and Sasuke would be placing them in the universal to multiversal benchmark. Going off the data books, Kaguya's strongest attack is her vacuum fist jutsu. With this statement, the argument becomes that her AP of this attack is stronger than Kaguya's expanding truth-seeking orbs, which was going to wipe out her entire dimension. We know that there are light sources in Kaguya's dimension, but this is where things get contentious because it's not like we can observe everything in the dimension. For all we know, it could just be a single planet with a single sun. It's just a fact that we do not know the true size of any of her dimensions, but we are using the highest interpretation here, so we are going to assume that the whole universe would be wiped out. We see Warrock Naruto clash against this attack, which would put him at least relative in this regard, being able to defend against it, and he would scale much higher as a full-grown adult during the Boruto era, fighting significantly stronger fighters like Momoshiki and Ishiki. If you don't agree with these interpretations, that's fine. This is truly for the sake of the video. Other channels much more well-versed in the nuances of Naruto and Boruto scaling continue to make videos and posts about the topic to this day, so again, I highly encourage you to go check out those if you're seeking definitive scaling. And in terms of their speed, we've already seen Naruto blitz the full-powered Raikage, while in KCM 1, the Raikage with just his version 1 lariat was approaching the speed of light. Naruto obviously scales above this with his KCM 2 and 6-pass Sage Mode transformations, even being able to dodge Madara's Light Fang attack. And during the Boruto era in his fight with Delta, he literally dodged laser beams from the cybernetic clone. I don't think it's crazy to say that Naruto and Sasuke have MFTL combat speeds. And in terms of their numerous hacks abilities, I think it's just best to move on with the video and bring them up as necessary when discussing various matchups. So let's go ahead and transition into stage 1 of the Marvel Gauntlet. To be blunt, there are just an absurd amount of heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe, and for stage 1, this category primarily focuses on the lowest levels of powers and strength on Earth 616. We're talking about your run-of-the-mill heroes and villains in New York that more than likely to have technological gimmicks they use in battle, a superpower that helps them commit crime but will casually get their butts whooped still by stronger characters, or just really bold regular humans with varying levels of training and equipment that makes them a threat. And in my opinion, the bosses of this tier would be individuals such as the Punisher and Hawkeye. What exactly do I mean by this? This isn't really me downplaying either character. As I said earlier, there are many factors that have allowed characters low on the totem pole in the Marvel Universe to get that drop on higher tiered characters. Frank Castle may be a human with no superpowers, but he is still dangerous enough to warrant an entire contingent of well-known heroes to come after him at multiple points in his history. And Hawkeye is literally an Avenger who on multiple occasions has been a part of various high-stakes events and missions in the Marvel Universe. So no, they aren't weak or trash per se, they are just many characters who consistently and definitely scale over them. Both of them, for example, have had moments where they have lost to Black Widow, who herself is a super soldier. That doesn't mean either of them don't have moments where they haven't been able to get the drop on her, because they have, but as you continue up the totem pole, it becomes harder to justify these kinds of characters defeating objectively stronger individuals. In regards to Naruto and Sasuke, they blatantly outscale these guys physically, and there are whole manners of ways they can defeat characters on this level, jump them via shadow clones, genjutsu, sage hacks, etc, etc. So characters who are relative or below the Punisher or Hawkeye are getting smoked, allowing Naruto and Sasuke to very easily continue on to the next stage. Now for stage 2, we have characters who, via enhancements like super soldier serums, blessings from other entities, or powers in combination with their insane overall skills, puts them definitively above the characters of stage 1. And for me personally, I would have characters on the level of Captain America, Steve Rogers, Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and Moon Knight be my bosses for this stage. And Captain America might be the poster boy of a low-tiered character in Marvel, swinging at people who are objectively stronger than him. Even more so than Hawkeye, Captain America's tenure as an Avenger speaks for itself. Pretty much everyone on Earth who isn't affiliated with Hydra respects Captain America in some regard, and for example, the fact that his skills are so good that he can even be sought after for help by the Fantastic Four to go on missions really highlights his standing overall. And of course, we can't forget his trusted vibranium shield that has been able to endure all sorts of attacks that greatly scale above Cap's own durability. Daredevil in recent years has grown in popularity, with many people coming to realize just how scary this blind Catholic lawyer can really be. Despite not scaling to higher level individuals due to a number of factors, Daredevil has been able to fight against demon-possessed She-Hulk and Wolverine, being able to hold his ground due to his skills and senses being so high. He has been able to no-diff someone as powerful as the Rhino, who at multiple points has given even Spider-Man a hard time with his raw strength and can even dodge Iron Man's repulsor blast. And just like Daredevil, there has been a huge resurgence in popularity for Moon Knight. Moon Knight is an individual so skilled that world-class mercenaries in the Marvel Universe like Taskmaster refuse to accept any jobs that involves him having to fight against Moon Knight. Moon Knight has even been able to blatantly defeat someone as unpredictable as Deadpool when they fought each other, and has held his ground against Daredevil possessed by the Beast. But how exactly do characters like these respond to individuals like Naruto and Sasuke? Well, just like before with Stage 1, it'll be really hard for these characters to get the drop on the ninja duo. Although they all have high-end speed feats that you could possibly argue allows them to hold their ground for a time against these Leaf Ninja, Naruto and Sasuke's low-end AP lets them bully them pretty badly. It is true that Cap Shield has tanked attacks that you could argue are even stronger than Naruto and Sasuke at their best, but all Naruto would need to do would just overwhelm Cap till he can find an opening and land a critical hit on him. Naruto has been able to consistently make thousands of clones since he was a child, and they are all overall relative to him in stats. Heck, with all the Marvel characters within the stage, it becomes even simpler if you add in Sasuke's hacks into the equation, because Amaterasu is slamming these guys badly. That's an ability where if it even grazes any of the characters, the battle ends swiftly. So any characters in this ballpark are more than likely losing, and Naruto and Sasuke continue on to Stage 3. Now for Stage 3, we're dealing with characters that have access to superpowers that would consistently put them above even super soldier level characters in the Marvel Universe, and other factors that give them an edge against combatants and pretty much any tier higher than them if those stronger combatants aren't careful. And for the bosses of the stage, I have the flagship character of Marvel himself, Spider-Man Peter Parker, and the most popular mutant of all time, Wolverine Logan. Now, when breaking down these characters, let's be so for real, Spider-Man needs no introduction. You don't even need to be a comic book fan to know who he is and what he can do. In terms of physical stats, he blatantly outscales Captain America and Daredevil without even using his full strength against them. He has been able to go up against all the Avengers in an essentially a giant game of keep away, highlighting his versatility. Even though the Avengers weren't trying to kill him and he wasn't trying to kill any of them either, the fact that he can even do this is wildly impressive. And one of the biggest things when it comes to Wolverine is the fact that he has fought astronomically strong characters at various points in his many years of life, such as Thor, the Hulk, and numerous high-tier X-Men villains. The combination of his adamantium claws and his powerful healing factor allows him to continue brawling in fights that many characters wouldn't be able to last long in, making him an exceedingly dangerous opponent no matter what. But how do these fighters compare to the Shinobi duo? Well, in terms of Spider-Man, this is another instance of just rushing him with clones. Spider-Man can get overwhelmed facing off against multiple characters at once, such as his many instances facing off against the many variations of the Sinister Six, comprising of members of his Rogues Gallery. Even though he could play keep away with the Avengers, the fact is that they were not trying to hurt him. And even with his strongest and most iconic ability, the Spider Sense, it's not like the ability makes him completely untouchable paired with his agility. There is an upper limit to how much damage Spidey can handle as well, which has been shown on numerous occasions. For Wolverine, although his healing factor and adamantium claws and skeleton has allowed him to brawl with various characters who are blatantly stronger than him. Literally, go ask the most die-hard Wolverine fans just how many times he has either been possessed by an entity or had his mind controlled by a telepath or an evil organization, and watch them make this face. Sasuke's Genjutsu is putting Logan in a blender. It's so bad that the old man Logan story is canon since he did cross over into the main 616 universe. And if Mysterio of all people can manipulate Wolverine into killing all the X-Men in that story, there's literally nothing Logan can do against Sasuke's Genjutsu. Individuals on the level of Spidey and Wolverine are likely not getting past the ninja duo, but I believe in Stage 4 is when things start to become even more difficult. Now, for Stage 4, we have Black Panther and Iron Man, and characters on their level, and to be blunt, this is more than anything Naruto and Sasuke can handle for their low-end scaling. I've talked about Black Panther and Iron Man in my Invincible vs. Avengers video, and covered more of Tony's feats in a video dedicated to him that you can check out, but Black Panther and Iron Man are well above the pay grades of Naruto and Sasuke with this low-end scaling. Iron Man's outdated armors have plenty of feats supporting that their AP and durability is well into the universal ranges, and Black Panther's vibranium suit has allowed him to survive against an enraged Worldbreaker Hulk. Black Panther has on numerous occasions fought against Namor in the comics, who is bare minimum planetary due to his fights against the Thing and Savage Hulk. In order to try to progress, they have no choice but to use their higher end multiversal scaling, but even then, it's really not going to be an easy fight given just how advanced their opponent's technology is. Using Iron Man's current base suit with his Mysterium armor pretty much null and voids most of Naruto and Sasuke's ninjutsu based abilities being used against him, given the resistance to all of Dr. Strange's attacks to destroy the Mysterium Cane, and Black Panther can redirect the force of their attacks and slam them back with it with his vibranium suit. Realistically, the only way I see Black Panther and Iron Man lose this hard-fought round is via Sasuke BFRing them into another dimension. We know Sasuke has the ability to travel between dimensions, and Tony has been in situations where he got stranded in the past and had no way to bring himself back to his timeline. Essentially, he doesn't really have any dimension or universe-hopping tech within his armors on a regular basis. As far as I know, Black Panther has the same issue. He does have a built-in teleporter for short-range teleportation, but that's it. Honestly, the jump to this tier is extremely broad because there are various characters you can categorize within here that you could argue are relative to Tony and T'Challa, and they have some powerful abilities that allow them to dominate in matchups like this. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if you thought Iron Man and Black Panther stomped these two right here because both of their technological bags are quite extensive. But for argument's sake, let's move on to stage 5 just to see if they have any chance with the fighters in that tier. And now for stage 5, and here we have the top dogs, the high tier Avengers. Characters on this tier have some of the most broken feats and showings in all of Marvel Comics, and I think the two characters who represent what a high tier Avenger really looks like are Thor Odinson, King of Asgard, and Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch and Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. And listen, there is absolutely no way at all for Naruto and Sasuke to pull a W here. Like, they are getting cooked horrifically. Thor and Wanda don't even need their higher level forms. Base is more than enough to bring these guys down. Like, they actually have feats of taking on outer-versal entities on their own. No amount of clones or Rasengan variations from Naruto is gonna do anything. Sasuke can throw as many Shidoris and Amaterasu's at them. They deadass would just absorb it. You could give Naruto an endless amount of stamina with his Baryon mode, and it's not stopping the amount of BS hacks these guys have. Like, what is Naruto gonna do when Scarlet Witch just uses time magic to freeze him in place? What is Naruto gonna do if Thor pulls out the God Blast that can just defeat outer-versal gods? Like, if Sasuke even tries to use Genjutsu, his mind is gonna melt from the attempt. And this stage is filled with numerous characters who are doing them dirty. In fact, this is a perfect segue to talk about the greater nuances of the Marvel Universe, because this video breakdown has mainly been AP focused, which was fine due to many characters not having access to these powerful hacks abilities. So let's break down just how badly things get if we throw in these high level abilities and equipment. Okay, so like for the hack section, let's just run through them real quick. Like, there's gotta be like, what, a minimum of like 20 Omega level mutants who are packing up Naruto and Sasuke. Jean Grey, obviously, Apocalypse, Storm, yes, Storm is packing them up. She can literally press Thor in her base form. We're not even talking about her being Eternity's Herald. Like, Storm is like that. I brought up Jean Grey just a second ago, but there's like multiple telepaths that can easily get the job done. Like, not even Kurama is gonna be able to help Naruto shake off the mind hacks. It's gonna be like Itachi times 100. Obviously, there's like multiple reality warpers similar to the Scarlet Witch. Unironically, Ant-Man Shrink Hacks is actually a viable option against these guys considering how much Naruto and Sasuke struggled against Jigen. It's way worse due to him being able to shrink them down to the microverse. Multiple magic users besides Strange and Wanda as well. Cosmic entities with varying ranges. Reed Richards with as many gadgets like the Ultimate Nullifier. Sue Storm with her force fields that she can use to burst their heads open and are strong enough to tank attacks from the Mad Celestials. And of course, Dr. Doom literally just existing. Like, Doom has so much technological and magical hacks at his disposal, it really becomes unfair to even throw Naruto and Sasuke at him. So to wrap up this video, Naruto and Sasuke are taking out a bunch of characters in the Marvel Universe. The problem is that it's just not the strongest the universe has to offer, not even close to the strongest. Like, once the higher tier Avengers and the others on that level get involved, there's simply nothing that they can do. And it gets even worse when you realize, like, we haven't even talked about the hierarchy of the cosmic entities in the verse. I appreciate everyone who clicked on the video, just wanted to try something new. If you want me to do more gauntlet style videos with other anime characters, let me know. And check out the other videos I have on the channel if you haven't already. I hope you have a great day, and please stay safe. Peace.